And there's a question about whether he was taking a shot at Justin. Here's the clip.
Sorry about that. Come here, girl. Who are you? Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're a Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist. Right.
If your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni. You don't make fun of the situation. You take it very
the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested.
Due to the fact that she seems like a rather shitty part of being in the public eye. She's just used to being Hollywood's golden girl. And she had such thin skin that after having a couple negative things happen to her for a month, she had to blame him. She decided to blame.
My favorite part of what I've read of this suit so far is that Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. This is a book that's probably written at a second grade reading level.
He's saying that she does not want to sit down for a deposition with Brian Friedman. Like, I know that this girl grew up rich and privileged, but how rich we talking? You know what I'm saying? Because does she think she's like a princess that she can just be like, I don't like your lawyer?
Have you ever watched a Hollywood star tumble from America's sweetheart to Hollywood's cautionary tale almost overnight? That's the storm Blake Lively finds herself in right now. Her explosive lawsuit against Justin Baldoni has spiraled into a public disaster that threatens to shatter her career. But how did it all unravel? And why are even her closest celebrity allies suddenly falling silent? Stay tuned, because what's happening behind closed doors is more dramatic than any role Blake has ever played.
The reason we got here was because you tried to play this in the press. Like, you went to the New York Times to try to take him down and to set a public narrative. And now that it's backfiring, you guys went to the New York Times. Oh, nobody could be bigger than the New York Times before you filed your lawsuit, as all of the evidence is indicating, because you wanted to set the public narrative against Justin Baldoni. Now that it's backfiring, you're like, hey, I want people gagged. This is unprofessional to go to the press. Everyone sees right through you and Ryan.
Hollywood has always thrived on big personalities and even bigger scandals. But this one has gone nuclear. It all began when Blake Lively took the extraordinary step of filing a headline-grabbing lawsuit against actor and producer Justin Baldoni, demanding a staggering $250 million. She accused him of harassment, serious allegations by any measure. Overnight, tabloids and entertainment outlets exploded with coverage. At first, it seemed like the entire industry was behind her. After all, Blake's reputation has long been spotless. She's a household name with a squeaky clean image, adored by fans almost as much as her husband, Ryan Reynolds. But soon the question emerged, was this really about justice? Or was Blake trying to settle old scores, twist the narrative, or perhaps hide something buried deep within her own story?
What Ryan Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, but, he's used it, on Deadpool and to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
The moment those legal documents hit the public eye, questions began to swirl. Social media lit up with whispers of doubt. Why now? And what if the accusations aren't what they seem? Still, at first, nobody dared to openly question Blake. She was Hollywood royalty, adored by fans and protected by industry gatekeepers. To doubt her was to risk outrage. Justin Baldoni, in contrast, was respected, but nowhere near the powerhouse of popularity Blake had cultivated. For a while, it looked like Blake's team expected him to fold under pressure, write a hefty check, and disappear, leaving her untarnished. But they underestimated him. Instead of backing down, Baldoni came roaring back with a staggering $400 million countersuit, a move that flipped the entire narrative on its head and left Blake staring down a time bomb of her own making.
Oh. And they score again.
I know. And my nose is so big.
Yes.
I'm not getting beard on you today.
I'm probably getting a fan on you. Let's score another.
We got plenty. Yes. Slow motion. It's going to be a 7.
Defamation and false allegations. Justin Baldoni's counterattack was a brilliant tactical strike that no one saw coming. Overnight, the narrative flipped. What once looked like a bold stand from a powerful actress became a high-stakes Hollywood showdown, two stars locked in a vicious legal war. And Justin wasn't just filing paperwork, he came armed with evidence. Damning text messages, revealing emails, and behind-the-scenes footage painted a version of events starkly different from Blake's claims. Jokes she once said made her uncomfortable? Screenshots showed her laughing, even initiating the same banter she later labeled harassment. Brutal. Then came the hammer blow. Justin's team pushed to merge both lawsuits into one mega case, making it nearly impossible for either side to retreat. And if that weren't enough, every legal maneuver Blake's lawyers attempted was shot down, leaving her arsenal looking emptier by the day.
We've come across evidence that shows that even her own representatives knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
The judge made it crystal clear this wasn't going to be a celebrity pity party. No special treatment, no Hollywood favoritism. But Blake's desperation showed when she attempted to slap a gag order on Justin and his lawyers, hoping perhaps to bury the mess. The request was denied almost instantly, and with that, the floodgates opened. Every scandalous detail was free to spill into public view. From that moment on, the drama only escalated. In showbiz, loyalty is as fleeting as a trending hashtag, and Blake Lively, once the golden girl everyone wanted by their side, saw the red carpet pulled out from under her. Why the receipts? Once Justin's evidence went public, big names quickly backed away. What had seemed like a standard he said, she said feud now carried undeniable proof contradicting Blake's story. And that's when the silence began. Blake's so-called celebrity besties stayed quiet or issued vague, lukewarm statements. Scarlett Johansson? Silent. Taylor Swift, once hailed as her closest ally? Not a word. Even the usual star-studded defenders were nowhere to be found.
You can simply hit up your A-list friends to further enable your abuse. Basically what they are signaling by hitting this carpet and intentionally getting...
If the silence from Hollywood elites was shocking, the media shift was downright brutal. Outlets like the New York Times, which once ran sympathetic pieces siding with Blake, suddenly slammed the brakes. Reporters who branded Justin as the villain were now walking back their words as new evidence tore Blake's story apart. Overnight, the Hollywood machine that once protected her treated her like radioactive waste. Producers whispered she might never be hired again. Agents and studios ran for cover, terrified of being tied to a meltdown that could cost millions. And then came Ryan Reynolds' misstep. At first, he stood by Blake, even publicly denouncing Justin. But as the scandal deepened, he tried to laugh it off, turning his wife's $250 million lawsuit into a punchline on Saturday Night Live. The backlash was instant. If Blake was truly a victim, why was her husband making jokes about it on national TV? Critics accused him of trivializing harassment, fans questioned whether her claims were ever serious, and social media shredded the couple for hypocrisy. The timing couldn't have been worse. Once Justin's receipts, texts, emails, depositions hit daylight, Blake's credibility nosedived. Fans rewatched old interviews, dug through red carpet sound bites, and found contradiction after contradiction. The narrative shifted from poor Blake to, did she make this up? Suddenly, the woman once admired for her grace and philanthropy looked like she'd weaponized her image for a massive payout, her usual PR playbook, curated. Instagram posts and friendly magazine spreads collapsed under the weight of real evidence. Every move her team made backfired. Gagging Justin looked desperate. Blocking evidence looked guilty. Even friendly outlets backed away, scared of getting burned. And then came the moment Blake dreaded most, the deposition. Forced to face Brian Friedman, Justin's legal pit bull, she could no longer hide behind PR filters. Word leaked that Friedman tore her testimony apart piece by piece, exposing contradictions between her public claims and private emails. The cracks in her story weren't just visible, they were gaping. The deposition cracked open Blake's carefully crafted narrative. Documents suggested she had a friendlier relationship with Justin than she ever let on. The most jaw-dropping revelation? A private inside joke. Blake had once laughed about it with Justin, and even sent follow-up texts making light of the same, subject she would later frame as harassment. What she once laughed at suddenly became the centerpiece of her trauma claims. That's not just a contradiction. That's a credibility implosion. From that moment, the lawsuit shifted from risky to catastrophic. Even if Blake somehow clawed her way to a settlement, her image was permanently scarred. And if Justin's countersuit succeeds in proving fabrication, the financial penalty could be staggering, hundreds of millions. For a couple like Blake and Ryan, who've built an empire of films, brands, and investments, that kind of hit isn't just embarrassing, it could destabilize their entire Hollywood fortress, and Hollywood is watching closely. Studios don't gamble on stars who look like a liability. Casting directors, producers, and brand partners are asking the questions no celebrity ever wants tied to their name. Can she be trusted? Will she tank our project with bad press? Is she about to be branded a liar in open court? Blake, once the golden girl of red carpets, is now a high-risk investment. The ripple effect doesn't stop with her. Ryan's empire of films, gin, sports investments, and ad campaigns suddenly looks vulnerable. A $400 million defamation bombshell could shake confidence in the couple's marketability. Hollywood hates unpredictability, and this case is the definition of it. If Justin proves his side, it sets a precedent. Even the most powerful stars can be sued into oblivion for defamation. That sends shockwaves across the industry. Studios may rewrite contracts. Celebrities may think twice before going scorched earth with lawsuits. So here we are, on the edge of one of Hollywood's most spectacular legal meltdowns. Blake launched this case expecting an easy victory, or at least a quiet payoff. Instead, she triggered a countersuit that could destroy her career. Her friends are gone. The media has turned on her. Every motion her team files looks desperate. Every revelation makes Justin look more credible. And the courtroom fireworks? They haven't even really begun. Witnesses are still to come. Evidence is still being unsealed. And each new hearing promises to peel back another layer of this scandal. The stakes aren't just Blake's reputation, they're the very way Hollywood handles its dirtiest secrets. Where does that leave her? Potentially blacklisted, financially exposed, and fighting a battle spiraling out of control. Ryan might want to rethink turning all of this into comedy fodder, because if they lose, the fallout won't be funny, it'll be devastating. The only question now is, can Blake salvage her reputation before the final gavel falls? Or is she about to become one of Hollywood's biggest cautionary tales? Stay tuned, because this saga is only getting started, and in Tinseltown, the drama never really ends.